on floor.
And just a quick word, Max Whitlock coming up in the pommel horse final this afternoon. What do you think he can do?
It's going to be exciting, you know. We saw him do his 7.3 or 4 start value in the all-round, and now, you know, no more pressure on all-round, just got to do his pommels, and yeah, he's got a fantastic chance of doing really, really well.
Well done today, Dan.
Well, thank you very much.
Dan Purvis then just a 10th outside of the medals, and as it was the highlights, you didn't get to see the chance that he'd beaten so many world champions before that. I mean, it just goes, it's a remarkable performance, Lewis.
I mean, he should be proud. You know, he went out there, he'd done his routine clean, and the pedigree that was out there also with him. I mean, it was an unbelievable final to watch.
Yeah, and talking of the unbelievable gymnastics we did see there. I mean, Kenzo Shirai. I mean, Beth, you did a lot of twisting, but I mean, that takes the biscuit, does it not?
That really does. I mean, me and Lewis were actually just trying to work out how many twists he did in total, and I think Lewis said it's about 18. So, at most gymnasts you might get maybe 5 or 6 twists, but the fact that he has 18.
And I mean, what kind of technique is he using to get them in? Because he seems to pop in an extra 1.5.
I mean, normally when you twist over the straight axis, but he does it around the side, which allows him to get so many more in. It's unbelievable technique, it really is.
It's just, I mean, he just gets the ultimate respect from everybody around him.
He really does. Me and Lewis were in the training gyms yesterday, and literally the whole gym comes to a standstill as soon as he steps into a corner, and he gets a clap just in training. So it shows that everyone has that respect for him.
It is quite interesting, the persona that lots of gymnasts take when they are at competition. You don't often see what goes on inside their minds. But Lewis, as you're not competing this time, you've been quite relaxed, and we've managed to catch you off guard.
The pommel horse is the place I feel very comfortable. When you start training in gymnastics, you tend to pick up on an apparatus that you're probably better on than the others. Pommel horse was always my apparatus. It was always more advanced than the other kids. To be the best in the world at the pommel horse, it is quite a challenge, and there's very few that can deal with the physical and mental pressure of performing at a major championships and doing the perfect routine. We saw Daniel Keatings and the Olympic champion Christian Berkey both make mistakes. We train like machines, but when we compete, we're very human. So for the top 3 guys that I've picked in this pommel horse final, is going to have to be Max Whitlock, Krishan Salathirai and Zhang Hontaro. We've got Max, very laid-back approach, very relaxed swing. And then you've got Krishan and Zhang, who are very quick, little whippets around the pommel horse, and you can see them circling a lot faster than usual. Now, if I was going to pick a winner, I think technically I would probably pick Zhang Hontaro, but my heart definitely wants Max to pick up the gold. Performing my routine at 2012 Olympic Games was the best feeling I've ever had. Having worked for 20 years for that one moment, I can't describe to you how fulfilling it was. I've never been the emotional type. I've never cried after performances. Just thinking it back, you know, I get emotional when I watch replays of the routine back. You know, I start to choke up. And still to this day, I am so thankful it went as well as it did.
Wow, Lewis, train like machines, but when we compete, we're human. Wow, what a quote that is. It's very true as well. I know, do you know, we were talking, weren't we, earlier on about the fact that you can never quite prepare for that feeling when you're in a place like this. I mean, you can go through your routines endlessly, but when you come here to when it matters, and that's the difficulty, isn't it?
It is, and you know, you can do lots of world championships, lots of European championships, but when it comes down to an Olympic Games, you've really got to have something special, and Max tonight, he has something special, and he really can push for a medal.
Yeah, and you were talking about the different styles as well that kind of Max has. It's kind of, not that it's a nonchalant and relaxed one, but it is a style of gymnastics that he has, and will that help him in this kind of environment?
I think it's a nice thing to be laid back. You know, if you're a bit fast-paced and you're a bit here, there and everywhere, then you can also trip yourself up. Whereas Max and I had the same tactic, is to just be relaxed, take it in your stride, and just try your best.
Now he has got this title kind of hanging over his head, Beth. You know what this is like. Potentially, he could be the first men's world champion. Now, what was it like for you being the first? Way back when? Can you remember that?
2006. I mean, do you know what? You can't think of it like that. You just have to stay focused on your routine. You can't be thinking, if I go through, I could be the first ever world champion for British gymnastics. It's a case of, I've got to go from A to B with my routine. If that happens to get a medal, then so be it. And Max is so used to competing, even though he's such a young kid on the circuit. I mean, he's done an Olympic Games and he went in with such a chilled out atmosphere for that, but he's got that experience.
Yeah, and obviously he's following in your footsteps as well, because it's, I mean, you know, you have carved out a path, haven't you, Lewis? I mean, that's the way you've kind of sort of shown everybody the way, and it's amazing how many gymnasts are now kind of following in your footsteps.
And it's nice for me now to take a step back and watch it from up here and to see that still happening. You know, Daniel Keatings and Max Whitlock doing so great on the pommel horse. The youngsters that we've got coming up, you know, are going to be something special. So it's nice to know that, you know, I started and there are people following up.
And I mean, is that the key as far as British pommel horse working is concerned? Is that why we're so good?
I think so. I mean, when you train as a squad and you've got someone competing at a world level, winning medals, you want to be as good as them. You want to be better than them. And I think that's the knock-on effect that we've had in Great Britain.
Now, just looking at Zhang Hong Tao, I mean, he's the highest qualifier at the moment, but he's got a score of 15.541. I mean, Max can beat that.
Max can beat that. He has the potential to score even higher than anything we've seen. So Zhang really has a chance.
Yeah.
He almost fell off in qualifiers.
Well, here they come. They're coming out in the order that they're going to be competing. The last rise, well, there's Max. So he's going in 4th place then. Is that a good place to be going?
It's all right. I mean, if you can go in front of the big names, then it's good, because if you put in a good performance, you can put a bit of fear in their hearts, as I like to think. But yeah, 4th is a good slot.
We've got Petrov there, who's going to be wrapping things up. He's the Russian pommel horse champion as well. But it's this thing where you've just got to try and stay relaxed. It's still a while before Max is going to be up there, and well, who knows what he's thinking at the moment, but this is what he was thinking just a while back. He met up with Ollie Williams.
I'm going to hopefully attempt the 7-3 start score, which is the biggest routine that I've been working on, and it's adding 2 new moves, so it's adding 2 G elements in, which obviously does make the routine very risky, but obviously if I can hopefully pull it off, then hopefully I can get a good score out of it. To be honest, it's still a hard final. You know, there's obviously 7 other people in that final, and one of them being Zhang Hong Tao from China. He's scored over 16 before in quite a few competitions. He's a specialist. There's Salafarai from Australia, and honestly, it's a very hard final still. And if I can perform at the Olympics, then hopefully I can perform at a competition like this.
Well, there are the gymnasts, and listen to the roar for Britain's Max Whitlock. So here's the order of play then. Zhang Hong Tao, he will be first up. We think that this will be his last Worlds going into retirement. Bijnari, he's always outside. This could be his year. And there the 8th gymnast. He has got a long way, Beth.
He has, and the good thing about this championships, they are allowing the gymnasts to go back into the warm-up hall. So luckily he doesn't have to sit there and watch everyone.
So well, Zhang Hong Tao making gold in his final year of World Finals. Bijnari, that could be his chance then. Salafarai, twice a world medalist. Max Whitlock in 4th. He got the bronze at the Olympics, don't forget. Seligman, Kohai Kamyama. Corel Baron, very experienced, never really made his mark. And then finally, Petrov. So let's go over to the commentary box. Mitch Fenner, Chris Still, and Lewis Smith.
And here we are, just waiting for the start of this pommel horse final. And the gymnasts have no warm-up in the arena here before they start. They've been in earlier today, but since the vault and the floor's gone, they haven't had another chance on this apparatus. There's a warm-up gym out the back, so they come into the bright lights, and it can be quite daunting, Mitch.
Certainly can, but this man is quite used to it. He's a world champion and World Cup champion. Hong Tao Zhang, beg his pardon, Zhang Hong Tao. First up. Beautifully extended swing, look at that, and the spindle keeps the shape. Very fast hands in the Russian on one handle. Good leg separation, look at this, smooth in the handstand. Undercut down. And this really is This is an opener, and it's a very impressive opener. Zivardo will travel, lost his legs a little bit there. But now in the triple Russian, he's back on song. The Magyar, good style, good swing. Can he keep the fluidity? He does. Fluid it was. Well done indeed.
Well, that certainly puts the pressure on the others, doesn't it? What were you saying, Lewis, about if you work out first and perform well, puts fear in their hearts?
That was an unbelievable routine. I'm shaking watching. I'm probably not the best to be commentating right now. But his shape, the way he circles, his style is very unique. You know, much like Zhao Qin, who used to be like in China. You know, got the sheer handstand, toes constantly pointed, a little bit of form breaking the top. His dismount, you know, nails it. I mean, you can see how happy he is.
Who wouldn't be? He would be.
Unbelievable.
Have you been first up in a major, Lewis?
I've been first up a few times. It's you feel quite a powerful position to be in, because if you put in a good routine, you're going to intimidate the rest of the field.
And there we have it, the score of 15.6. So every gymnast from now on will have to be exceptional.
Exceptional. I'm not sure, but Alberto Busnari is certainly different. Innovative. And he's been around a long time. Well in his 30s now. Take a look at this, the way he's put this exercise together. Nice and secure on the one hand. Very pedestrian so far. Up he goes. Now that's a big pause in that handstand. That's his own move that Busnari, but really a little bit of strength used there. He really needs to be more fluid, but let's see how the judges treat it. Flares predominating here. Is it over yet? Answer? No. He carries on. More flares. He's changed the nature of pommel horse. There we go. Zivardo. Now he's up. Oh, and that's a big pause before the dismount. Well, Busnari, it was different, but there were problems.
Well, he posted a massive start score of 7.1 in qualification. So if they credit everything, that gives him quite an advantage.
I mean, it is a very unique type of routine. I think he is going to be penalised quite a lot in terms of how much he breaks the swing of the actual pommel horse routine. We saw a little bit of good one handle, and then here, you know, you see him pausing the swing, and pommel horse is all about, you know, keeping the movement flowing. So it'll be interesting to see what the judges do with the score. But down to the little things, you can see his toes are crossed over. You know, these are deductions that the judges are going to pick up on.
En ook in Tokio op het WK van 2011 zat hij in de finale.
Every deduction with this man, surely though, Lewis, that was a lift to handstand.
I mean, it's debatable whether the judges will actually give the dismount, because he shows him coming back down in a different direction, so he'll have a little nervous wait.
I was going to say, I think his face says it all. He wasn't totally convinced himself as he landed, was he? There wasn't that instantaneous cheer.
And they gave it, they were kind.
And that 7-1 gives him a score of 15.6, puts him into the lead.
Same score to share the lead. I really would put a question mark over that. Prashanth Shulatharai, and nobody swings as fast as this little guy. He is amazing. tiny, he's under 5 foot tall, but he looks so long when he's swinging. There was a pause in the handstand. Now watch the speed. Skips around the triple. Look at that on one handle, going so quickly. Beautiful. Oh, and he clonked the horse and he's walking away. What a disappointment for him, but looks so good with this, doesn't he?
He does indeed, and he really does fly around the pommel. I mean, that's a very difficult skill, the spindle between the handles, and to clear that surface area of the pommel horse, you need to circle as fast as him.
Well, he's paced around it a couple of times, got his composure. He's going to have another go. There's that spindle this time. Not in the middle, but he did it well. Look at the improved try. I'll tell you what, he's going to take off. Look at this. This is his trademark. Fast, clean swinging. What a pity he came to grief in the middle. And a lovely handstand sequence as well. Well, it's tough at the top.
I mean, when you're packing in so much difficulty, it is hard to stay on the pommel horse, and when it comes down to it, you know, the ones that go through the routine are normally the ones that win the medals. So you can see, you know, there's a slight error there after the woo travel into the triple Russian. But when he picks up, I mean, he's got elevation over the handles like no one I've ever seen. There's the pause and the sheer handstand, he'll be deducted there. 3 to 5 tenths. So that's unfortunate for Christian.
The only Australian gymnast we've seen here, men or women actually, and a great shame he didn't manage to harness his best routine there. See how tiny he is, can't you?
He has to be massively disappointed.
I think he will be.
You see Max Whitlock and his coach Scott Hahn there just preparing the apparatus. Like you said the other day, Lewis, this is the nervous moment.
I think we should see him play with the handles a little bit.
It's some rhyming there. E1 judge. He has to make the big decisions.
When the gymnasts fall during a move, one of the big questions is, do you credit the move? Have they completed it? Did they not? So when the routine goes through easily, it's much more straightforward for the judges. Here we got the score, 14.033, down with a 7-4 for execution. Paid the price of those mistakes. Max Whitlock, ready to perform.
Sheer half with travel, done nice and safely. Russians on the handle, safely negotiated now. Long way to go. But this is a good, smooth, steady start. Here's the Bujnari. He keeps the swing back into the flare, and that spindle is so difficult to set up, but he survives it. Not quite there through the spindle. Come on. Stretch. Okay, through the woo. Into the triple Russian. Now then. He's in handstand. He keeps the swing. And a little flourish at the end. Max Whitlock. Sit down, Lewis.
Oh. Wow. Wow, this is intense. I can't do this.
Now you know what it's like.
Oh, Max. I mean, he went through from start to finish. There was one iffy moment in there. You know, he's done a big routine in a big final. He'll be happy.
He certainly looks happy, and so do the team.
Oh, I'm still catching my breath. So he's on the one handle. This is the triple Russian. This is the G value. Very clean. Back into the middle. This was the Busnari. He cuts back in, and this is where he clips the pommel, where there can be deduction up to 3 to 5 tenths for hitting the apparatus, and then he skews coming back out. But then finishes off nicely. Here's the dismount. Aren't they back on the Busnaris? They look similar until they get off the pommel. There's a little bit of loss of form. He picked up nice, and there's the relief. That face of the picture. Every gymnast has that. Well done, Max.
Well, there were 2 performances there, one from Lewis and one from Max.
Well, he went for the big routine. He said he was going to at the beginning, and he did. Here we go.
Yes.
15.633 into the lead. Massive difficulty of 7.2. What a moment.
Brilliant stuff. Come on, Lewis. What does that feel
well
like?
deserved.
So Max Whitlock in the lead. 15.633 to beat him. Robert Seligman from Croatia puffs his cheeks out.
27 years old, and he's following Max Whitlock's terrific routine. Well, that's lovely. He really did stay stretched. And again, through the spindle, lovely shape he's working in. It'll be difficulty that keeps him down. Look at that, hips well forward. Lovely line. This is superb. Very nifty through the triple Russian. Precise with the hand placement, very little skewing. Trampled back in the Savano. Triple Russian into the dismount, and that really was a clean old routine.
Yeah, I've competed for a long time against Robert Seligman. I think that's probably the best routine I've ever seen him perform. I think that will get him up there with the scores. I'm not sure about whether it'll beat Max or not. But it really was a polished performance.
That extension was front of the sword.
I mean, it was very impressive from start to finish. You didn't see him do any Wendy circles on the one handle, but all the work he did on the leather, it was so stretched, so beautiful.
So his execution score, his E-score should be right up there. That's where the judges take marks away from the 10. So if you can get into the 9s for execution, you're doing pretty well, and he should, I think, for that.
I mean, the only thing he lacks on is difficulty. So what he lacks on with there, he'll make up for with his execution score.
Well, he was a bit down in difficulty in qualifying. What here, Mitch, do you think?
I think it wasn't that much more difficult. I mean, Lewis wasn't that impressed with difficulty.
And there we go, just a 6.4 difficulty, giving him a 15.433, 4th place.
Lovely clean work from Seligman. Kohei Kamiyama. And traditionally, the Japanese not brilliant on this apparatus. They tend to swing a little bit tight, but every now and again there comes an exception to that rule. Clean, rhythmic handstand to start with. And another. Almost lost body shape, but did very well to control it. Very secure on one handle. Nice Russian to complete the combination there. Triple Russian in the middle, that's not easy. And that travelled directly over the far pommel, that was difficult as well. This is good work. Kamiyama keeps the style. Did he clip the horse then? There's the handstand. It was fluid, it was difficult, and it will challenge.
I mean that is a good contention for Max's routine. I mean, it was neat, it was tidy, it was start to finish. It was It was a brilliant routine. Lots of difficulty. You have 2 sheer handstands. I mean, it really was. And you've got the stretch circle here on the one handle, performing the stocky elements. Showing great control on the handle, leaving himself enough space. I mean, it really was a great, polished routine as well.
That's the big question, the difference in polish to difficulty, isn't it? If you can marry both together, then you're onto a winner.
Good to see the Japanese swinging the horse so well.
It is. I mean, normally they've been quite skewed in the past and quite tight, as you said. But yeah, he's very different to... Maybe he's some of the new breed coming up.
Well, they think it's worth a medal. Oh, he's done it.
Oh, it's a big score.
Yes, a big difficulty score, and he takes the lead just inches ahead. Wow, 15.833.
Kabayama then takes over from Max in pole position, 15.833. Max Whitlock in second silver position at the moment. Daniel Corot-Baron, and very, very promising young gymnast he was. And he faded a little, but he's back here in a pommel horse final 3 years later. Picks up the swing nicely. Again, those extended hips at the front. Very comfortable for the stocky elements on the one hand. There's, did he complete the Russian? Lewis will tell us later. Into the spin. Keeps the swing going. Fast hands. Shoulders and feet moving together, keeping the rhythm. Magyar, Savado, up and down the horse. Oh, and that's the delay he didn't want. Corot-Baron, still impressive.
I mean, apart from the dismount, I think he'll be very happy with that routine. Just shot himself in the foot a little bit, but I think it'll definitely be up there with the medals. Great routine, great difficulty.
Chris, you and I go back a long way. Have you ever seen a Mexican in contention for a pommel horse medal?
I was just about to say that. Very unusual to see Mexico performing so well on the pommel horse floor sometimes.
I mean, he swam great, you know, from start to finish, and he's got a great extension, much like Robert Seligman. There's the woo, using the handles, and he's only young, so he's got a bright future, this guy.
He's 23, isn't he?
And there's the dismount. So as he stutters a little bit, the judges could either take 5 attempts, 3, or in some cases may not even give the dismount. We'll see.
Well, second place, 15.633. They're really pushing the scores here, these guys. So, in fact, a joint second with Max Whitlock.
We'll have to see whether there's a tiebreaker. They'll go to execution score.
Final gymnast.
That way. I have to apologise, there's no tiebreaker in a fight, so if you get the same score, you share them in. Oh, exploded in the Russian. Really well to get that under control. Oh, and that's wild. How is he staying on? Through the spin. Surely he's going to run out of steam. But he doesn't. Through the Magyar. Back through the Savado. This is a marathon. I don't know what a pommel routine. And he keeps the swing going. That was an exercise in grit and determination. He was not going to let his moment go.
Well,
He really had to fight, didn't he, Christine?
Yeah, no, he did have to fight, but he was a gritty, determined guy, and he did fight right through to the end.
He started off very well. You know, his basic sheer, in with his flair, full spindle. I mean, it started off with lots of promise. Showed great circles on the one handle. Circles on the one handle are a special requirement, so you'll see a lot of gymnasts doing that. Handstand dismount. He travels quite far away from the pommel horse. That could be a deduction, but not be too happy with his form break in the middle. Could cost him.
I guess the trick really is to pack the difficulty into as short a routine as possible, because the longer you stay on there. Here we got rank 7, 15.416. Like you said, Lewis, he's disappointed with that.
Big score, 7th place, 15.416. What a final this has been. Kawai Kamiyama, he has emerged on top of the pile. Amazing routine, stylish and difficult.
And wins Japan's 3rd gold medal of the championships.
Max Whitlock, silver medal. Lewis will be delighted. What do you think, Lewis?
I mean, Max is nowhere near a finished, polished product yet. I mean, he's got so much talent. You know, he's 20 years old, and you know, from now until Rio, we can expect some exciting things. You know, he's come 2nd in his first Worlds after the Olympic Games. What a superstar!
Brilliant. Kawai Kawayama then emerges on top of the pile. Max Whitlock takes a silver medal, which he shares with Daniel Parot-Baron. Hongtail Zhang, brilliant pedigree, but it was only enough to get him in 4th. And some really good work underneath that. What a final.
Well, like Lewis was saying, Max is very young. He posted the most difficult routine in the final. Once he puts some polish on that, he's really going to be a force to be reckoned with. He is a force to be reckoned with.
Brilliant work from young Max Whitlock.
Well, the extraordinary thing is, Kamiyama was the 8th highest qualifier. I mean, we really didn't expect him to come from as he did. I mean, we were on the edge of our seat. We thought, didn't we, as soon as Max had posted that score, that was it, Beth?
Yeah, I mean, we were all celebrating up here. It's a fantastic routine from Max, and he'll still be over the moon with that silver medal. It's one step up from last year, and like we're saying, he's still so young, and he's got so much time ahead of Rio.
You just saw the girls there lining up for the uneven bars, which we'll be going to very shortly. But yeah, I mean, I just think, as you summed it up perfectly, I think, Lewis, he's a young lad, isn't he, Max? He's come here, he's got 4th in the all-around, 2nd in the pommel horse, just remarkable.
And he's tried out a new routine that he's wanting to do for the future. There's a lot of expectation on the young lad, knowing that I was there and Berkey had fallen off, and he's done well, he coped with it.
Well, it's incredibly noisy here, but I think he is with Ollie Williams right now downstairs.
Max, you did it. You're on the podium, a silver medal.
Thank you very much. I'm really happy with that. You know, I tried my big routine. I got a 7.2 start score, so you know, it's quite a big risk factor doing that. But you know, I'm really happy. It was a great experience for me, and to come out with a medal is amazing.
There were moments watching you where it felt like time stopped. What about for you actually doing it?
Yeah, there was bits in that routine, you know, I thought I could have fallen off, but you know, I'm just happy to get through the routine. Some bits were scruffy, but you know, to get a medal out of that routine, I'm very happy.
Does it feel as though you're making progress? Olympic bronze, world silver now?
Yeah, it does, really does. And you know, I'm looking forward to the competitions ahead. Hopefully I can qualify for them, and I'm looking forward to them experiences.